Hey guys, it's Mike. I tried to do some things outside and it was way too windy, so it's gonna be super windy out here. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to give you something different than the truck, you know. I ended up just deciding to shoot it back in the truck. Sorry about that. Eventually, we'll get new stuff. I tried. I'll work on some studio space stuff. That's coming up as well. But for now, hey, the truck's good. It's just me and you. We're just chatting. It's the new year. Somebody else wants to chat with me. It's the new year, and I guarantee you the majority of you listening are probably thinking about pricing. I know because I've already had this conversation twice with two different friends about pricing, and I wanted to tell you my story. In middle to end of 2016, I had finished up a job with a company that I had started, and it was basically going under. The market was not well, and the company was not doing well either. And so we had to shut it down. And so I had been doing video work for this company, and because of that, I had gotten some inquiries about doing video. At the same time, I had just kind of started, but the videos I was producing for my company was good enough that it attracted some people's attention, and they wanted to book me to do their videos. And so I quickly got online. I purchased a bunch of courses on how to do video better because I wanted to get better. And when I started, one of the things that people always said was free to fee. You start off free, you get your chops down, then you do a couple of projects cheap, $150. After you do a few of those, you bump it up, $200, you bump it up, you bump it up. And I did that with my video business, and it took forever to get full time. And I barely made enough for the first few months that after I started my video business, a few months later, I was applying for other jobs, and I went back part-time from video and started working full-time for another business. It was forever before I got full-time with it. And some of the clients that I started where I stair-stepped them, I started off and I was charging them $250, $300. At the beginning of 2020, they were getting charged $400 to $500 for full-blown commercials going out on TV. Because they were so used to paying that price, they would push back anytime I tried to raise my rates, even though my quality was getting better every year. It's so frustrating. So at the end of 2020, when I started my photography business, I took a different approach. I decided to do it either free or fee. And if I did it for free, I would tell them, look, for family photos, for example, I did a few free sessions of those. I go, look, family's not really my specialty, so I'm willing to do it for free. If it turns out great, you love the photos, that's great. You're only out your time, I'm only out my time. And I'll use these to book other clients, and I'll probably charge $1,000 or something like that. So I'd preface the whole thing. We'd go out and we shoot them. I never really got to loving families, so I'm not going to do families. I did the same thing with headshots. I took some headshots for some friends. I also just went out and worked with random models and took some headshots and built up a portfolio. Then the first time I charged for headshots, I did it full price, either as much or more than anybody in my area. I was charging for headshots, but I had gotten my material up, and I was able to move into full-time a lot faster with my photography business, doing it that way, doing it to where I was either doing free work to build portfolio, or I was doing absolute highest price that I could possibly charge in my area or whatever. Because the way it works, it doesn't matter what you charge. If you charge $100, your client is going to expect the moon still, because low price does not mean low expectation. If you go out and you buy a $10 meal, you buy a $30 meal, either way, you still want it to be hot. You still want it to taste good. You paid for it. It doesn't matter what you paid. That's why people complain about fast food, and they still go to expensive dining experiences and things like that because they want quality. They do. So if you find a client that is booking you because you're so much cheaper than this other person, that'll only work for a little while, but you'll find yourself filling your client book or your client list with people that only care about price, and they're going to be the hardest to please. Build up, create something special, create something that differentiates yourself and sets you apart from your competition, and make it to where people want that. When they book you for your work, then they'll be happy when you deliver your work to them. But if they're booking you only because you're cheaper, that's all they're going to end up caring about. So as you move into 2022, if that's the one thing I can tell you, if you're in a rush, you just started, you're in a rush to get to full time, the fastest way is not to stair step it. The fastest way is to get your chops down. While you've got the passion, go out, do all the shooting and do all the editing and be excited, and then use that to charge full price. And you'll get there a lot faster. Like I said, at the end of 2020, just in those last 3 months, I had made more than what I had made yearly doing video. But it was because I had clients so long that were so used to low prices that yes, whenever I booked a new client, I would book them at the higher price. But then all my repeating clients were so used to paying so little that I didn't have the gumption to push them into the higher prices. Some of you may be able to do that. And if you want to go the free to fee route, that's great too. I know it works for some people, but what I've learned and what I've had to do as far as how I've had to pivot to make things work and the finances go the last couple of years with all this craziness was that I got to a point where I felt competent in what I was doing, and then I charged for that. But you don't want to be the person that sees new people come up behind you, charging what you charge, and being frustrated, going, I could do better than them, and yet they make more money than me, because you're worth it. And so you should charge more. If you've been in it for a while, charge more. If you feel like you deserve it, get out there and charge more, because you do. If you've built a brand that has its own identity and you're offering something different than other people, you should charge for that. I'll see you in the next one.